Hanuman in Lanka. When Hanuman entered Lanka, he was so small that he could not be recognized. He wandered everywhere in search of Sita, and naturally he went to Ravana's palace. The wealth and splendor of that place also impressed him, and he considered it to be like heaven. That was the feeling that was born in his mind. Like a mother, it satisfied Hanuman. It was around midnight. Thousands of beautiful women were sleeping in the big hall, wearing soft clothes and ornaments. They had been engaged in the rituals a little earlier and had fallen asleep, Pananidravasham Gatam, drunk with drink. It was a scene where they had completely forgotten themselves. They were lying scattered as if they had been caught. The pearl necklaces that some were wearing had slipped from their necks. Some were wearing them while tying them. Flowers, garlands, and ornaments were hanging loosely. The tilak of the saffron moons on their foreheads was slanted. Some of them had their temples far apart. The gold and jeweled turbans were loose. It seemed as if the female horses had stretched out the bodies to relieve their toil and fatigue. They had spread the bodies carelessly and in complete disarray. The clothes worn by some were so thin that they fluttered even as they slowly breathed. The edges of their robes stood out like small flags. Some seemed to be whispering about Ravana in their sleep. Still others were kissing the faces of other women lying next to them in their sleep, mistaking them for Ravana, Ravana himself. Sita is sitting in Ravana's garden in Lanka, busy and depressed. Didn't Sampathi say that I see her? I cannot raise such questions. A hero is an actor. These women were enjoying themselves even as he was caressing them. If you see one of them hanging on the wolf and the other on his body and shoulders, they looked like garlands tied in rows. When Hanuman went to the next hall, Ravana was sleeping on a comfortable couch. His body was as black as a cloud, his earrings were shining. Lohitiksham, red eyes when he was sleeping. His long, strong arms were stretched out, he was wearing precious clothes and ornaments. He looked like a big black cloud with lightning passing through it, as if he had been charmed by the rays of the setting sun. There were scars from the wounds caused by Indra's elephant's tusk that had pierced him. There were marks on his shoulder from the blows of Indra's diamond weapon. Blood sandalwood was smeared all over his body. Many kinds of perfumes and ointments had perfumed his body. Here is a picture of Ravana. Masharashi pratikasam nishvasantam bhujangavat ganjmahati toyanth prasuptamiva kunjaram. Like a long constellation, like a cobra breathing out its breath, like an elephant sleeping in the great waters of the Ganges. A little below his feet lay the bodies of more intimate women. One had a veena in her arms, as if she was carrying her child. Another had her mridangam in her arms, another had another leather instrument in her arms. These had sung and caressed him to make him sleep. Another had her breasts tightly clasped. Nearby, on another couch, on a comfortable seat, lay a more beautiful woman than all the others. Exceptionally, uniquely, she was the only one, Mandodari. Hanuman felt that he had finally seen Sita. He was filled with incomparable joy. For a moment, the one who saw her jumped, and a verse in the Sarganta describes this. Aspotayamasa chuchumba pukam nananda chikrida jagau jagama stambanarohan nipupata bhuma nidarshayan swa prakritikam kapinam. He tapped his tail on the ground. He kissed it again and again. He climbed up the pillars of the high corridor, he descended, he showed the nature of a monkey. No, this is not Sita. In any case, while searching in vain, when he saw such beauty, he only for a moment thought that he had seen Sita. No wonder. For a moment, he decided that Sita would never be Rama's wife and walked on from there. To go a little further, there were all kinds of drinks, different kinds of food, many meat dishes. Especially atta, for mass dancing, for singing, for pleasures, it seemed that everyone who had come used them. There were lures of deer, buffalo, ostrich, peacock, various birds, pork meat, vardinas, etc. Some were eaten half-cooked, some were not even touched. Some lihayas, many types of pickles. The size and shape of the utensils made, served, were of various kinds, made of gold and silver. The Banasis had made the dishes delicious, new and fragrant, so many kinds of spices, to enhance the taste of the tongue. There were so many other kinds. The women who had gathered there. The singing, dancing, festival ceremonies, carefree luxuries that took place, satisfaction. Love and happiness were visible in all this. Women of different colors, castes and classes of various types seemed to be happy. There was not a single woman there who did not agree with Ravana's luxuries. A sage is describing this, a brahmachari is watching all this. Women are seen in Bharadwaja's ashram, but they are all women of the heavenly world. The sage had invited them. The sage's order was to make the army of Ayodhya and its chiefs happy. Everything there was an ideal picture, but here, the women's council of Ravana's private anthill. So many groups. Everyone had accepted him as their lord. The happy offering arranged by the demon emperor in his central palace. Hanuman felt a sense of regret for what he had done for not seeing Sita there. She belonged to someone else. He had never seen so many women in such a state, different, loose, and careless. After wandering around like this, when Sita could not be found there, his next task was to find her whereabouts. At every stage, the words, "I have wandered all over, Janaki is not visible, Drishyati Nahr Janaki, Naiva Pashyati Janaki, Na2 Pashyami Janaki," were the same. Madhuvana. A Samaradhana in the ashram, the pleasures of Ravana's palace are the two that have been described so far. Now we can see how the poet has described how the monkeys who were victorious in bringing the news of Sita were happy. They are returning to Kishkinda. The monkeys are coming near Sugriva's Kasa Upavan. In that Upavan, there were many fruit-bearing trees and a beehive. An uncle of Sugriva named Dadimik was guarding it with a snake. Sugriva was very fond of this Upavan. He guarded it so that no one else would see it. The monkeys had a strong desire. They sought Angada's permission to drink honey from the brand new beehives. Angada asked the elders in the camp. Hanuman said, "Do not worry about anything and drink as much honey as you want. The responsibility of the outcome is on me. Who will hinder you? I will take care of it. You will be protected. Let us see what enemies will stop you, as Ayam Avarasyami Yushkakam Parapanthina." That is the opportunity that the victors get after the war, who have all the time. Angada's reaction shows his unique nature. The exultation about the victory they had achieved in the task entrusted to them makes up for this crime. In addition to forgiving, when the hero who achieved the victory, Hanuman, who was steadfast, strict and loyal and the best friend of Sugriva, gave permission to them, they were allowed to do such inconsistent things. The monkeys' amusements and excursions were of many kinds. What? How did they have fun? How many types of sports did the monkey nature engage in? Here is an explanation. There was not a single monkey that was not happy or dissatisfied. The guard naturally objected to this and tried to stop these activities. The monkeys dragged him, punched him, beat him all over, knocked him, kicked him. What a festival of monkeys! The monkeys who had come from outside and attacked this orchard chased away the guards. They ate the fruits they liked, drank as much honey as they wanted, and spilled the excess on the grass on the ground. Some monkeys took the honeycomb from one piece to another and fought each other. Some jumped to the branches of trees and swung themselves. Still others plucked leaves from the trees and spread them on the ground, laid down on their leaves and fell asleep. They fell down in a frenzy. Some or many of them may have taken some pleasure in destroying the forest, which was the seat of Sugriva's love and devotion. It could have been Nyanga.